I am a theoretical quantum physicist. I studied physics in Valencia. I moved to Barcelona to do my PhD. And then I moved to Geneva. I worked at CERN as a postdoc. And then back to Barcelona, became professor there, taught and did research a little bit all over the world. And then I moved in the year 2000 to Madrid as head of the Spanish Research Council, CSIC. Then I moved back at some point, and then I got the offer to become president or rector of the University of Luxembourg, which I accepted. And then I moved to Luxembourg, and during 10 years, I was the rector there for a year. And then I became president of the European University Association, which is a large association of some 900 universities. And I finished my term there a couple of years ago. And after 45 years of activity in research and academia. So I moved to Barcelona in '71 to do my PhD there. Then I left the city. As I said, I went to Geneva, but I came back a few years later. And then I became professor in theoretical physics at the University of Barcelona. I taught, of course. I did research. I supervised research. I usually each year I spent 3 months somewhere doing research. I have been dean there. I have been vice director at the University of Barcelona. I've been in all kinds of committees and boards and whatever. I've been also in working a little bit with advice at a couple of companies. And and I was quite active in all kinds of discussions which had to do with research and with academia. But I found it an extremely interesting city, an open city, and I enjoyed my time there really a lot. And I made lots of friends. And I regularly go back. So yes, it's the city I would say, most attached to. Well, I stayed in Luxembourg. Now, this is a very particular place. It's a place which is difficult to compare to other places. When I came here in January 2005, the only university was 1 year old. So this was a country basically without a university. And there was a very modest research system of 3 or 4 research institutes. Now, the university here is a public university, but it is run by private law. So it's a very different model. Anyhow, what the model allowed me, I was of course lucky, one has to be lucky in life too, is to set up a marvelous university in 10 years. When I arrived here, the university didn't exist. When I finished, it was in position 172 in the Times Higher Education, which for a university of 11 years is quite remarkable. So difficult to compare to other places. But of course, one of the great advantages of this country is that you have money. It's a rich country. Well, that's not an easy question. But let me first tell you that I enjoyed teaching a lot. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot. To me, teaching was a pleasure. And I had a tendency to teach without notes. So, to think of what I was proving or explaining. And I had, luckily, always some very good students who ask me marvelous questions, and I've learned a lot from these questions. So, and I've met all over the world, and I've traveled a lot in my life. All over the world, I've met former students of mine, and when they have told me that they enjoyed my lectures, I was over the moon. I was really very happy. Yeah. So that I'm very proud of. Of course, I've done lots of research, and I have supervised lots of research, and I'm proud of some papers I've published. Some of them, I mean, like the definition of quark masses, is a paper which is now more than 40 years old, and it still gets each year, I don't know, 10 or 15 citations. But probably the greatest thing I've been able to do is, I just mentioned it before, was the setting up the University of Luxembourg. Yeah, well, I get inspired when I walk. But then I get inspired when I'm with students. In fact, that is one of the things I miss. I've been missing in the last years, and not enough contact with students anymore. I get very much inspired by young people when I talk to young people, and I always try. I'm always there for young people. I mean, that's. I think I have a long experience now, and I enjoy transmitting what I know to younger people, if that can help them. Challenging questions inspire me a lot, and I read and discuss a lot about all kinds of challenges. Some of them related to academia, some others not, but all of them related to society. So these are things which stimulate and which motivate me and inspire me. Science and technology is, I think, the only source of solid knowledge which we have, and certainly the only source of understanding which we have. A city which wants to play a role in the world, and a role in the world today means a global world, and I'm pretty sure Barcelona wants that, and I know that most of the people living in Barcelona want that. Needs therefore to use the ambassadors which it has everywhere, and needs to make sure that it still produces knowledge through young people who study in its universities, and who do research in its companies, if it wants to play a major role, and of course if it wants to produce wealth. Luckily, the geography helps, the climate helps, the architecture helps. It's an attractive city. I was a couple of days ago, I was down there, and I walked on Sunday morning. I got up very early, and I walked, through the Passeig de Gracia, and then through the Barrio Gótico, and so on. And it's a marvelous place. So it has certain advantages which should be used, but an effort should be made in those things which are not yet what they should be. Well, Barcelona is a very creative place. I mean, the people coming from Barcelona, the people, I mean, your members, they punch well above their weight, and that has been so for quite some time. people coming from Barcelona. I mean, it's not only Barcelona, of course. There are other large cities where people coming from them are remarkable. But Barcelona, certainly within Spain, is a very remarkable place from this point of view. You find people who have spent the time in Barcelona, excellent people, great people all over the world, and doing great work. So therefore, the hub, the Diplo hub, allows these people to make sure that Barcelona continues being this place. But there's always the danger of losing it, and therefore I think the diaspora of technologists and scientists coming from Barcelona and who are all over the world, they can make sure that Barcelona goes on being this open space where innovation and where creativity is furthered, is nurtured, is pampered, that. And so you can do an excellent job for the city, and the city should do an excellent job for your members. The city should take them heed to what they say. I mean, take into consideration what they bring with them. And I hope also, and this is an offer to all the members, the younger members, of course, that if they think I can help at some point with something, I will do it with pleasure. Okay, I'll give you a few ideas about what things have been important to me in my career, and maybe some of them might be useful for you. Quality trumps quantity. The quality is when we cannot discuss about quality. The quality has to be high. Quantity is quite marginal. Don't keep your ideas to yourself. Share them. I have had one or two bad experiences in sharing my ideas, which then were published as papers, as publications. But in all the other cases, I got a hell of a lot from discussing my ideas with colleagues and with other people, and it improved them a lot. Life gets complex at some point, and you have to simplify. Don't simplify too much. Simplify, but don't simplify too much. When you discuss something, don't try to find one cause of whatever it is, because usually almost nothing has one cause. Usually things are multi-causal and you have a certain number of causes. Also, don't use a dichotomical approach. Don't think that something is of this type or the opposite. That almost never happens. There are very, very many other choices, and the dichotomy is again an unjustified simplification in most of the cases. So always look forward, always be constructive, always worry about the future, and always help young people. That's it.